All right, big man, it's the Rundown from Chicago. It's Wednesday. It's October 19th, presented by NASCAR. NASCAR is back in South Florida. It's DIXIE VODKA. 400 race weekend. I'll be there. Nobody cares, but I'll be there. I care.
Sell me.
I'll be. I mean, it's awesome. Championship hopes will be on the line for one of the last chances to lock into the championship four. Watch the stars of NASCAR race to keep their dream alive. Tune in October 23rd at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm pumped. It'll be my second NASCAR race this year. I loved going to
Thanks
Daytona
for the invite.
in February.
Yeah.
I got invited, so I'm going.
Right.
But, yeah, I will be there. I'm excited. Going to be a little NASCAR in Miami is interesting.
Yeah, what kind of crowd shows up?
I feel like that's probably a good time of year to be in Miami, too.
I think so, right?
If you avoid, hurricanes. But I think it's like the weather to me, like that seems probably like
What's
it's
a
gonna be
bad time
perfect.
to be in Miami, not to be?
Summer.
I think if
I don't think it gets all that hot in the summer.
No?
Pretty sure Miami's sweet.
Oh,
Like,
well,
I
Year
think
round?
it's like a little hotter than San
Okay,
Diego.
it's fucking whatever.
regardless.
You'll be there when? What's the date again?
It's Sunday, the 23rd of October.
Sunday.
Listen, you could guarantee your 2022 DIXIE VODKA 400 weekend experience today if you're in Miami with me. Adult tickets as low as $49 and kids 12 and under start at $10. You don't want to miss this. Homestead Miami Speedway's DIXIE VODKA 400 will be a major part of the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. It'll be the critical second race of 3 in the round of 8. For the Cup Series playoffs, as a victory will give the winner an automatic berth in the round of 4. The DIXIE VODKA 400 will mark the first time on the 1.5-mile venue for NASCAR's next-gen car. Tune in to NASCAR's DIXIE VODKA 400 race, October 23rd, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Listen, if you're a little spicy too, I believe the Dolphins are the Sunday Night Football game. So if you're going down there, roll it up into a duo.
Yeah.
Why not? That's a productive Sunday. That's a fun Sunday.
Yep. And then you got the Bears play Monday night, so you have no conflict. You're going to rip it up on Sunday.
It'll be nice. I'm excited. I was correct. The Steelers are at Miami, so
Are you staying with
do a
Gaz?
double dip. Yeah, we got our spot at 11 already, ready to go.
Club Ed is back.
Rock cocked, ready to go. First topic of the day: the Guardians fell to the New York Yankees. White Sox Dave, take it away, brother.
I don't got much to say. I think that Tito Francona and the Guardians brass decision makers completely fucked up. Aaron Savell really sucks at pitching. The Guardians have a loaded staff as it is, top to bottom. And like, I was arguing with a bunch of people on Twitter, not arguing, just having, fun back and forths. Mostly Guardians fans, weirdly enough, that said, like they weren't gonna throw. Why am I fucking blanking on
His name's Shane Bieber.
Shane
they were
Bieber.
throw him
They
and
were
Francona
shut
came
up.
out. I mean,
they weren't gonna throw Shane Bieber because he hadn't thrown on 3 days rest yet. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, you've never thrown on 3 days rest until you've thrown on 3 days rest. So in a do or die game, to me, that seems like the best time to put on your Cy Young, your best pitcher on the staff. So like, what are you doing? And even if he can't throw because of injury history, blah blah blah. Anybody else other than Aaron Savell. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you go bullpen day. It doesn't matter. He's the last person they should have been starting that game. I think that's how they lost the game. As soon as they went down 3-4-0 right off the bat, it's like that just took the all the wind out of the sails for Cleveland, and that was it.
I think you should apologize to Carl.
That was rude, Dave. He
I
gave
think
you
you should
the name and then
apologize
you
to
told him
Carl.
to shut up. So.
No, that's all he needed was the game, and he was gonna. I had thoughts to finish.
All right.
I'm sorry, though.
Carl.
There you go. He apologized.
thanks, Dave. Tito started Derek Lowe on 2 days rest in 04, Game 7. He's not afraid to run these guys out, right? I think Derek Lowe had nothing in the tank. I shouldn't say nothing. Obviously, it's Derek Lowe. That guy could probably still pitch now. But
Sinker baller.
success, he's done that shit before where he brings guys back on short rest. He said, Shane Bieber's coming off like big shoulder surgery, whatever. I kind of like Tito more because he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to roll with my guys. Like, whatever. Savali sucks.
He's horrible.
Whatever. Fine. He had a bad year.
He had like
gave
a
up the
6 ERA.
3-run home run. But if he goes out there and gets Aaron Judge out, then we're talking about how
But
Tito Francona's a fucking genius to put his guy in that situation. It didn't happen.
But that
Bigger
wasn't ever going
story.
to happen.
Yankee fan reactions, you fucking gabagool losers.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
not getting into this like your team sucks and all this stuff. I would say you guys are just fucking losers. You guys are losers, and the way you guys celebrated in the streets after winning a home Game 5.
against a team.
Despicable on every fucking level of humanity. It is despicable that they got out there and rallied around and jumped up and down and were doing the chants. The only people who think that's cool are Yankee fans. Everybody else is looking at this going like, if they get smashed by the Astros, just play that fucking on repeat. These people jumping up and down. Have you even seen it?
I have seen it. I think I'm interested to see how that's going to go over.
Don't you think this is part of just baseball culture, though? Every team, they have champagne in the locker room. They clinch.
That drives me crazy.
It drives me
Did you see
fucking
Garrett Cole
crazy.
was just standing there like, I don't. It was. I love the Garrett
And on
Cole.
the Garrett Cole note,
Garrett Cole's just standing there being like, I don't even.
Yeah.
What do we do?
I
and they had a
also
flight to
think-
catch.
Not to be like macho bravado guy, because whatever. But like, I also think it's part of society now. You know, like it's like let the kids storm the court. It's going to become a thing. Let the fans celebrate. So I think people are going to be like,
No,
okay with it.
listen. If that's ALCS and they're going to the World Series, or that,
Sure.
absolutely, dude.
How about if they're the
Absolutely,
Seattle
but, like,
Mariners?
You're not a Yankees fan because you want to be in the Final Four of the regular season.
Yeah.
Like if they
Yeah,
lose
yeah,
in the
yeah,
ALCS,
yeah.
these guys are gonna be fucking livid. So what's with throwing a party? Now I understand though, crowd, riots, people just get excited. I'll guarantee you, if I was in the middle of it, I'd probably be the loudest fucking asshole there. I'd probably be climbing up on the. I would be the biggest jagoff, but I'm not.
I think it is indicative that the Yankees are just another team now. You
Oh,
know,
100%.
Like they're just.
Did you see
those
the stream?
pinstripes,
I had
they
said
don't
They were
so
mean
many
shaking
words,
it up.
and
Yeah.
what you just said right there was
They're
perfect.
just another team.
They were shaking it up on the stream last night, and it drives me crazy that we don't have a Yankees fan in content that just has a disgustingly Italian last name. Doesn't it bother you guys a little?
Like
Like,
Skibelli ain't too fucking.
Yeah, I'd say.
but he doesn't reek like Yankees fan. I
I
want
know-
like the
Listen, I said a lot
overweight
of mean things about
Dago
Yankees fan, but I would
Right,
not
you
say that
want-
about you, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's not wearing
mean,
a
he's a big
chain and
Yankees
a,
fan.
and an
Hubs
open
should
jersey.
get a lot more credit. He's a great Yankees fan. He hasn't
I'm not
missed a
saying
pitch
he's
in,
not,
like,
but
15 years.
I'm saying that scene when they're like shaking each other's hands, like
I think Tommy's a good Yankees fan.
Yeah.
Tommy's a hilarious Yankees
Because
fan.
he
he's
is not
really
afraid
into
to
it.
say what he wants.
Oh,
either.
yeah.
Like a lot of people
These
like
guys
to be
fucking
right,
suck.
and they don't like to piss off the sabermetric crowd. He does not give a fuck, and I appreciate that.
I like that, too.
Anything on the Phillies quickly?
Oh yeah, Bryce Harper is a fucking gangster. He's so
Yeah.
sweet. He's like even sweeter than you think. And his mythology is already that he's like the sweetest fucking guy in the league. And like everybody hates him, and then you play with him. I shouldn't say everybody, but like a lot of people are like, oh, he's overrated, or like he gets way too much love. And then people say when you play with him, he's just the best guy in the world. And now October, obviously, the Phillies 6 seed. He's sweet. Everything he does is sweet. Popped last night, left center.
He's been on fire.
I
so
think it's
far
gonna be a
in
good
postseason.
series.
Oh yeah, I think I think these games are all going to be 1-2 run
Yeah.
games coming out of the last at bat. Like one out last night. One out bases? No, one out runners first and second.
It's gonna be nice.
And on that, I want to say this real quick. The Yankees had Cole warming up in the 9th inning yesterday, but Bieber wasn't good enough to go. Fuck out of my face.
I think it's Bieber is coming off shoulder surgery.
A
The
year
Guardians
ago.
absolutely fucking need him this offseason one way or the other.
If an
just
extra
insane.
50, 60, 70 pitches are going to be the reason he got hurt, then he was bound to get hurt anyways.
All right, you have not watched the Tito Francona presser. You have not seen anything the guy said about
I
it.
didn't,
Otherwise,
no.
you'd have way more respect for the decision because we're going to sit here
okay,
fucking later and you're going to talk about how great Tito is.
I love
and
Tito.
then here's the biggest decision the guy's got to make of the year, and you're just ragging him for
Okay,
it. So.
anybody but Savelle then. Anybody but Savelle.
He didn't want to hurt Bieber. Respect that.
Moving to the NFL, Boston Globe reporter Ben Volin reported that he reported that Mac Jones, there was a rift, that he needed an attitude adjustment, and it appears to be a fake DM that he received.
Appears.
The
The guy sent a screenshot of his conversation to Feidelberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, but he also could have heard it from somewhere else. Listen, I'm just giving it a couple
Oh, you say
benefit
Ben
of the doubt.
Volin
Yeah,
could have heard it
sure.
from
Now,
somewhere
what
else?
compels you to give the benefit of the doubt right now?
I really shouldn't. I don't know the
You
guy,
shouldn't.
and by
Yeah, at all.
and by all accounts, I'm not in tune with New England beat.
So you don't owe this guy any favors.
No, I
There's
don't.
Nothing.
I don't at all.
Bury his ass, Ed.
I don't have anything to bury him upon.
Yes, you do. How many DMs do you get every day about, I heard this, about that, and like, you don't run with it. You have enough discretion. Someone sent me a DM being like, hey, Chief,
I
am I hearing things? I heard Patrick Kane is actually getting traded today. and it's like, oh, let me like run that. Let me push that. No way.
I just wish to believe that journalism is a little higher than this, Chief.
It's not.
This
Clearly,
guy's got access, Ed. He's got access. You don't have access, and he's out here just fucking running with DMs. The White Sox Dave and I were doing this in like 14. Come on. Clean it up. This is old school. This is 7-8 years ago stuff. You got to clean it up.
the limo driver guy someone was getting suspended from steroids in 2013, right, Dave?
That was Derek Rose.
No, it was AJ Pierzynski. I believe it was Pierzynski.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I didn't run with that though.
I thought you were tweeting that.
I didn't run with
Darvish
it.
done deal.
No,
If,
no, no.
if
run.
I'll.
Oh, you were right.
Oh
though.
yeah, that's,
That
that's
was a
fine.
good
I
one.
forgot
I
about
got
that.
killed.
No, I get them all the time,
Right.
and like I would say a handful of times a week, and it's as easy as sending a text message and confirming one way or the other. And with the White Sox, I got a good enough relationship with them where they will literally tell me straight up, and 99% of the time they just laugh at it. They're like, "Yeah, not true." And a few of the times, for instance, when the Sox signed Irvin Santana, I broke that via a DM because it just made sense. He's like, "Hey, I work at this place in." It was like Alabama or something. It was somewhere in the deep south. And he's like, I just worked out. I caught a pen for Irvin Santana. He says he's flying to Chicago to sign with the White Sox. And at the time, I'm like, that makes perfect sense because they need a depth guy. I took it to the White Sox. They're like, yeah, you can say this is pending a physical. It was easy as that.
And listen, this guy seems slick. I saw him going back and forth with Feidelberg again, and he said he changed his name to PFT Commenter, and he was going back and forth with Edelman for like a year until he realized. So, like, sure, but listen.
That is kind of funny.
Yes. Like, he's got the Uncle Chaps.
Oh, man, it'd be
stocking.
great
Okay.
if are there any awkward moments between Julian Edelman and PFT in the last
you
year that's
wonder,
been
right?
recorded where they're just like, wait, what are you talking about? I was like, you didn't get that joke? I
You
thought we
wonder.
were-
You wonder. But, yeah, scumbag move.
I don't think it is. I think it's kind of funny. All this Volin dude, I never even heard of him. Should I know who that
No,
guy
not
is?
by that guy. I'm saying by Volin,
Yeah.
if he's really creating a story out
Just
of a DM for
fucking
random
ask.
person.
That's all you got to do. That's my point.
Even the guys, when he was breaking it on the radio, I don't know if you saw that clip, they were like, this sounds like, basically they're like, this sounds like bullshit. Are you sure? Because
Who
as
you
soon as we
getting it
publish this, it's
from?
going to go viral. And he's like, oh, well, I can't say any more than I've said. Like, he didn't have a second source. His source was a random guy on Twitter. Like, that's terrible. Terrible.
That's like career ending for a guy like him.
No.
Kinda.
I
Not
guess-
career
I-
ending,
I
but
guess-
like
I guess he's
gonna.
kind of-
For some reason, I feel like
it's just a mistake. You just look like an idiot. That's it.
I
Whatever.
feel like he's been in wars with Portnoy before. Like,
Yeah,
that
he
name
has.
is a familiar name, and I feel like maybe
I
it
know all
was
these-
Deflategate
I know-
stuff.
I
And
know
Well,
way
Dave
too
had
much.
harsh comments about this when it came out. He quote tweeted and said I don't know what the exact words were, but they weren't
said he's
fucking
a
nice.
clown.
I know way too much of just New England media, just from reading the site for the past however many years.
Yeah.
I think we all do. Next topic here, Russell Wilson makes his own teammate set up phone calls with him through his manager. Marshawn Lynch was quoted that he tried to talk to him, but he said, hey, if I can't call you directly, then I ain't calling you, especially if I went to war with you. Chief, we'll start with you.
I want to defend Russell Wilson in a way, but you just can't. You can't, because I would love a buffer of someone who has the ability to intercept things that I don't want to deal with. I wish I had if you want to tweet something at me, you have to tweet at this person first, and then they'll send it. That sounds like a pretty healthy way to go about the internet. But this is your teammate. Like, that just means like you're in a locker room and you haven't made one friend the entire time. That's preposterous. You have no friends.
I see it differently. I think he's just warped by the machine, maybe. You know, like he just thinks
The fame?
Yeah, he just thinks like this is how, how you just go through everything. Like that's just a natural progression of how to deal
I
with
think
it.
he's so big, dude.
Nobody's that big.
To him in his head, coming out of Seattle, there ain't fucking no dog and pony show in the Pacific Northwest of the continental United States as bigger than Russ Wilson in the last 10 years. He's just the biggest fucking thing. So now that I'll guarantee you his ego in the machine and all this branding and all this stuff, he's got a team, he's got guys. Also, you want to set up some time? I'm doing this. I'm traveling. I wish I could. I'm on the plane. It's just
Talking about a
easier
phone
for him
call.
to be Russ
Or a
Wilson.
text
I know what I'm
message.
saying, but dude, the fucking turnover
We're talking
guys
about a
coming
phone
in and
call.
out of a locker room and like, yo, I want to set up some time, and he's probably just been through the league long
Yeah.
enough where
It's
it's like, all right, hey,
Marshawn
you want
Lynch.
to get on my fucking?
Yeah.
I get it.
But I think
I don't think you do.
I mean,
it's
he's
Marshawn
not-
Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch ain't his teammate. I'm just trying to explain where I
Yes.
think Russell Wilson could be coming from because obviously this is a preposterous story.
I think
Obviously.
he overcomplicates going out there and playing quarterback. He sets it up like all this. Like Greg Olson told a story in his podcast how as soon as he got drafted, like he said, yeah, let's set up a meeting, and he had like a shared Zoom screen. It was like March, you know, and he like the way he goes about everything. I think he's just so
The mental rep.
yes, you know what I mean. Like he's
yeah.
like a Mark Wahlberg like schedule kind of guy.
Yeah, that's how
where
I
it's
see
like,
him.
yes, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying that's the way I view this. Where I don't think he's being an asshole. I think he just views
he
his
is.
life.
I kind of blame.
You're not
I
listening to
kind
it.
of blame.
I am
I kind of
listening
blame
to
Tom
you.
Brady. I kind of blame like the guys that have individualized their quarterback brands, because now it is just like a mindset. As soon as you get in the league, you have success. And Russell Wilson is like a second tier, you know, big quarterback brand. To him, he's a fucking first tier guy for sure.
I am
But-
listening to you. I am listening to you. But you're saying like, oh, he's not an asshole. This is just how he set up his life. But he set up his life in a way that makes him an asshole. He's still
Like an asshole's not returning calls. An asshole's like, yeah, I don't talk
you
to you,
can't.
man.
What's worse than an asshole? A guy
That
you
is just-
can't even call.
But we're talking about like if he's
It's not
going about it in a
intentionally
way
being
where
an
it's like,
asshole.
hey, you want to get on the phone or you want to set some time up. I'm so fucking serious with the way I go about my stuff. You
Dude,
know?
these fucking regimented guys are fucking nuts.
They're assholes.
All right,
That's what I
in
would
a sense
say.
of like, you're an asshole wearing that fucking stupid hat. Sure, like, all right, if you want to say an asshole like that, as far as like an asshole definition of like a mean bad guy,
If you're
No.
so
there's
self-centered,
two assholes. It's like cocksucker.
if
like we
you're
talked about.
sure, but if you're so self-centered and so regimented that you can't find a way to return a text or a phone call of a guy you won a Super Bowl with, that you like, hey, go through my manager.
What an assumption, though. Do they won a Super Bowl together? Like, all right, so hey, I was on the fucking team.
Yeah, you're on
Russ,
the fucking team.
Fucking hit me back, dude. Like Russ,
This is like
But Russ-
fucking
yeah, I
baseball
don't-
guy stuff. Everyone 25
It's
individuals.
not baseball guy stuff.
That's
This
what
is
it
just-
sounds like.
this
It's
is-
individual, but
He's
like
not
Russ
even.
Wilson's
He's
an
not even
NFL
defending it.
quarterback.
He's trying to speak from the side of that. That's all he's doing.
that's defending it though.
Lynch put it perfectly, and
Mind
mind you,
I got one for you. One of my best friends played minor league ball and lived with Russ. You guys all know him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He used to talk to Russ all the time. And Russ's rookie year went out to fucking training camp, hung out with him, the helmet, jersey, walked through all this stuff. The second year, can't go, like, no spring training or whatever, training camp, goes out to like a fucking November game or something. And he said slowly over time, you know, like one text message
Yeah.
and then it just stops. And when's the last time you talked to Russ? And he's like, honestly, it's been over 10 years. Now, there was a time, though, when they just fucking did everything. He went to, like, 6 games on the road with him in Wisconsin. They went to each other's weddings, all that shit. I just don't – hearing about him and, like, I don't think he's a bad guy at all. I'm saying, like, he just got to a point where it was like, I don't have time for this. I just don't have time for it. I think it's fair if he's like, yo, I don't have time to be jumping on the fucking phone. And I'm looking at Dom and like, yeah, I get it. If he doesn't have time for you, right? It's like, yeah, dude, he's a fucking NFL quarterback. He's running around. Like, we played minor league baseball together a couple years ago. Who gives a fuck? Like, people move on and
Totally. But it makes me a little bit sad for Russ, because if this is a way to have
You think every
You're
single
wrong,
one
too.
of Brady's receivers and running backs has access to him?
that
No.
it's Marshawn Lynch. He was the best running back in football for
But
a hot
I
minute.
bet you if Julian Edelman calls, picks up the phone. I bet you if Troy Brown calls,
Thank
picks
you.
up
Sure,
the phone.
but also
Thank
we're
you.
assuming
Thank
just
you.
because they're good that they had a good relationship.
There is
like,
that.
there is a chance that Russ just doesn't have good relationships with people because of the way he goes through his life. Because
Right.
he's just one of those fucking guys who's out to be as fucking good as he can at what he
How's
does.
that
You
working
listen, all right. Like
I would say pretty good. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
You
right?
guys are
He's
missing
like-
some of the bullet points.
Yeah.
Though. Like Lynch said, he feels bad for him, and he would like to speak with him, but he goes, if I can't call you directly, I'm not calling you. I think they're like he's very well within his right to say that. I wouldn't want to fucking go
if
through.
some, all right. Well,
Let's
if
go
someone,
2 fucking hours
listen,
today. Let's do it.
Typically, you could talk to Dave, but if someone wants to talk to Dave, your best bet is to go through Austin. Like that's a thing. Like that's like the best bet is to go through one of his people. Like these people are fucking
That's
busy.
a subordinate and employee or employer relationship, though. That's not two guys that were peers.
Do you think Russell Wilson?
Sure, but I'm just you viewing it as a lens of people are.
And it's also a former player and an active player, and
Mm-hmm.
the active player is a quarterback. We're not talking about like texting an offensive backup offensive. Hey, Alex, what's up, dude?
Yeah,
It's like
I'm saying
I just think it's a douche move.
I do too, and I think when you you're setting up your life in a way that you're trying to maximize your success now, and your career is, I don't know how many years he's got left, and then you got 60 years of having no friends because you were so regimented and such
Dude,
an
I don't
asshole.
agree with it. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with the bodybuilding crowd. Like, you know, those people who they live their life where it's like, I'm not doing anything.
If he doesn't value friends now, he's not going to value friends later and be like, man, I missed out on this. Like, if he's not valuing it now, when the fuck do you think the realization is going to come in that I should have some friends if he's never had any
When
friends?
he's sitting around with Sierra doing fucking nothing. And
People
people
fucking jerked off.
All right,
yeah,
let's
but,
move on. Let's move on.
You don't think people come to realizations later in life and have regrets? Of course they do.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I don't think Russ Wilson is. He's made how much? $250, $300 million eating Subway for a fucking living right now. Okay,
Joe
also,
Rogan.
I do think it's a dick move. I just want to say
All right,
that. I think
good,
it's a dick
good.
move, but I think it's like, yeah, go through the man. I think it'd be easier. It obviously would be much easier for him to do it.
sure.
But I'm just telling you what I think. What's going through Russ's head.
Joe Rogan interviewed a Navy pilot who describes his experience with UFOs. Chief, we'll go to you again.
Yeah, I blogged this last night. I was happy that we got back to Rogan being Rogan. Like, let's just sit around, chop it up about aliens with with pilots. The clip, it was like a 15-minute, and right at the end, I wanted to smash my computer because the guy was like, yeah, we only see these things when we're coming in and out of training exercises. Those things cost $30,000 an hour to fly, so we don't make time to go study these. And they're like these translucent gray cubes that fly around the coast with a sphere in them. And it's like, oh yeah, there's that thing again, popping up on our radar. We saw it in person. There it is again. Well, back to base. What the fuck are you doing? You better drop every single training exercise you have to study a flying gray cube that's just doing laps around your
Did you listen to the
territory.
whole interview? 'Cause
I
did.
listened to the 15-minute clip.
So
I don't
I
have
listen-
Spotify anymore, so I don't listen to Rogan.
Because you lost your password?
Yeah.
It's an issue.
Yeah.
We were talking about that off camera today. But I listened to the entirety of that
Think of a
Rogan
bad
interview
password
last night because,
recovery
like
system?
you, I was just excited for it to be an OG Rogan episode. So it was like 2.5 hours long. I listened to it start to finish. And so he tied it back to, which is really interesting. If I had the ability to blog right now, which I don't because our tech stinks, I would blog this. What Rogan did with this pilot, his last name was Gates, I believe. I don't know. He was a Navy pilot in Virginia Beach who saw these cube things in the air, and he tied it back to the Bob Lazar thing because everything that Bob Lazar described with Element 115 or whatever it was, that he was saying, hey, the Element 115 exists in the late 80s, and people were telling him, you're fucking crazy. It ended up being a real thing in like 2008 or 2009 or something. They actually discovered the physical element 115. And everything that this pilot described the rocket doing was exactly what Bob Lazar described, that there was no propulsion.
Right.
So there was no like engine that was shooting fire out, which was accelerating the craft forward. It could move in ways that physically do not make sense on this planet. And they tied every single thing together. Like you said, you believed him. If you listen to the entirety of the interview, you'll be like, this all makes sense now, because like puzzle pieces are starting to fit together. So if you haven't listened to this interview, say what you want about Rogan. I know he's polarizing right now. This interview is wildly entertaining. I couldn't put it down. I was completely in the zone for the entire thing. I was hardly looking at my phone, all of it. I was just like, whoa, this is super fucked up. So do it. That's all. That's my whole take on it.
Area 51, Lazar, Navy pilot just released the documents. I don't know what else to say about aliens.
Release a document.
Just release the fucking.
They have been
just sitting around.
Release
have
it
been.
all. Release everything.
There's aliens they're all over the place.
Exactly. I don't know what to say more about
There's
them.
probably one in this fucking office right now.
Yeah.
Who do you think it
One
is?
of the theories was that they
No, we can't see him.
that these
That's Dave.
they've been living amongst us the entire time, and they're not actually aliens. They're actually like Earthlings that
From
are
the future?
basically controlling us right now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
yeah.
Well, I'm having a blast, so keep it up, guys.
Next story here: a protester, or a group of protesters, I should say, they shut down a bridge in the UK, and people responded by shooting fireworks at them. Carl, to you.
Did you say UK or Northwest Indiana, home of the fireworks? This is where
Crazy
UK
Kaplan.
cultural stuff just kind of goes off a little bit. Like protesting a bridge makes sense. Bridges are very important there, right? Because they've got all those waterways and just historically speaking.
Thames, yep.
So it's just like in their blood. Like you got to make a fucking statement. We're going to the bridge. So I think that's kind of cool. The fireworks, you know, don't get me like that's weaponry. I don't like fireworks. I don't like firework displays. They have to be grandiose. I have to be at a White Sox game. I have to be Navy Pier. I never go to a Navy Pier White Sox games. Saying it has to be huge with music. But if it's like a guy's uncle in the backyard or something lighting off Roman candles, it always made me uncomfortable.
These people are. This was an oil protest. Then there was the Campbell Soup one the other day, thrown at the Van Gogh.
Yeah.
And
also an oil protest.
Yeah, these people are starting to become the worst
Protesting
people
oil
on the
paintings.
planet.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Okay.
It's becoming a lot.
Yeah.
Like, and
They glued themselves to like a Picasso a couple weeks ago.
Thank you for paying attention.
Did you say crazy glue?
I literally.
Yeah.
Just said
I
that.
was
Yeah.
okay. I just heard the Campbell Soup thing.
yeah, so but it's like if you want to protest, fine. Don't ruin my fucking day. Like I have to get across that bridge. I got shit to do. And the other thing, like I don't know if they noticed, but like oil prices are fucking through the roof. So you're on your way to getting what you want because prices just keep going up. We're gonna have to find other things. Just shut up and let people go about their business.
But like, isn't that one of the most that's like a snow day. Like I couldn't get to work. They were protesting on the bridge. And if you're from a place where protesting's protected, your employer can't be mad at you. A little day off.
Yeah,
Bridge is shut down.
but
Boys are mad. I'm going home.
But do you like traffic? I feel like you're a road rage guy.
Man, I get so mad.
So
what are you kidding?
yeah, exactly.
You think I'm a road
I'm
rage
right.
guy? How
Yeah,
long
well,
have we known each other?
I've never been in a car with
well,
you,
I
but
keep
like
it.
I
I'm
can
only
put two and
when
two
I'm
together.
alone. I don't do it when other people in the car.
Okay.
That freak everybody out.
Yeah.
Especially a true gridlock where you can't even turn around.
Yeah.
I've
You're
had
just
bad
fucked.
moments.
Like you're gonna need like 4 Rogan episodes before you get home. So
tough.
that's like just don't ruin other people's day.
You know what I hate about this though is, and I know this didn't take place in the United States, but when shit like this happens, they use the Boston Tea Party as like justification for what they're doing. Like, oh, they destroyed property, they fucked things up, they stole shit. It's like you're not protesting tyrant governments that are like exacting rule on you. You're protesting oil. Come on.
They're doing a good job if we're talking about it, though. So
Last topic
I
here.
don't think so.
It makes me
Is
want to
anything
just
gonna
rent
change?
a car and
I
drive
don't know,
around.
but we're talking about it. That's why you protest. So you
Last
keep going.
topic here. There's a house in Gainesville, Texas, that's haunted by a sexual ghost. The house used to be a brothel. Apparently, the ghost is saying things like, oh, baby, yeah, I like it like that."
Ed, come on. Can you?
White Sox
Yeah,
Dave.
Ed, you're the hooker guy in the room. Why don't you take this one?
Ed, can you give me a little more gusto?
That's so Bush League. I'm sorry.
That's a dangerous slander.
Yeah, that I have to be very
Especially
clear.
on a national YouTube
Yeah,
show.
a
I'm
lot of
not
this
a-
audience
I
does
am
not,
not-
interact with us regularly.
Yeah.
That is not true. Eddie is not the hooker guy.
You can say that on our own show,
Yeah,
a
that's
local
true.
show where everyone knows the
Yeah.
local
Eddie's,
joints.
come
that
on,
everybody
Eddie's,
likes.
Correct.
Eddie's,
You want to
Eddie's,
say that I murder puppies on our own show and I'm a hooker? That's fine. Not on the major show.
Sorry, guys.
White Sox
I
Dave.
take it back.
I would
I'm a
like
hooker
you
guy.
to re-ask the question and give a little animation behind what the ghosts were saying.
The old babies.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
Come on, give me.
You said "oh baby"
Ed?
like you say "Mo Bamba."
Yes,
No, but-
Mo Bamba.
No, but here's the thing. I specifically had no. Is diction the word?
I don't.
No.
What do you mean?
Is is syntax the word? Pronunciation.
No energy.
Gusto.
Voice
no energy.
acting.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
specifically because this is
Give
a girl.
us
it's
a
a woman. It's a
19th
woman saying this. Nobody allowed to hear the guy moan. You know.
No,
You do impressions well.
You
Come
can
on.
do it. You're Second City trained. Give us your best 1840s brothel worker.
Oh, I don't know how they talk. I pass it on. I pass the buck to
No,
them.
we're not finishing the rundown until Ed does
You
this.
can't.
Hannah just walked in.
You can't. What would Hannah? Oh baby, oh baby, yeah, I like it like that, baby.
Fuck.
I don't think many people watching this will have any idea what that joke
God.
was. Like we all seen Casper the Friendly Ghost. Why do ghosts have the bad stigma about them? They're like pit bulls. Like, do they all have to be bad? Maybe there's just a couple of fucking.
No, it's a misconception.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the sexual ghost too?
My radar's up on this. It's Halloween. Like this is a
Well,
clickbait
yeah.
story. Like they know what they're doing.
You said it's a hotel.
It's a
No, it's
just
a house.
Just a house.
Is
Yeah.
it for rent on Airbnb?
Apparently, 10 tenants have moved out in less than 2 years, and the longest anyone has stayed was 6 months.
Oh, okay, so
You know
there's
what
pretty, I mean, 10 tenants is a lot.
Who's the
Also, I feel like you sign a lease. It's just like, hey, like, I want out of this lease because a ghost was grabbing my dick. Sorry, like that's not a good enough reason. You have to finish out that lease.
Nah, leases mean not. You could get out of lease. Like
You can get out of a lease
Cook
for
County,
that.
get out of lease for anything.
For that?
Stop paying it.
This is Texas, though.
Yeah. Well,
That is true.
law and order here.
All right.
Hold on. Who's the investigative researcher at Barstool?
You.
It's
Shea.
not me. Stephen Shea. I'm gonna throw this out to Stephen Shea. When
I figured Jerry Thornton.
when you buy or lease a house, it's all public record, right?
When you buy a house.
When you buy a house, so find out who the tenants were that moved out. Shoot them a DM on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Send them an email. Just be like, hey, is this bullshit or is this real? Go straight to the source.
All right. That's the rundown.
We should send Dave down for this.
Would you go down?
Yeah.
No,
Spend
I'm
a
not
night.
going down.
I would.
Would you and
I
Chief
don't-
spend a night?
I'm not a ghost guy.
I'm not a ghost guy either. They
Yeah.
freak me out.
Oh, so I don't
See,
even
that's
think,
why.
I don't think they're real.
I think you two should do this together.
I'm way more of aliens guy. Than
I'm a ghost
No,
guy.
aliens are definitely real.
No
What do you
shit.
think?
I've been to the Midlothian Turnpike, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery.
No,
Do I think they should go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, why not? It's an idea. Right?
I know. It's,
Yeah. All right. That's it.
This
That's it.
was a long rundown. Yeah, this was a very long
Long rundown. Thanks everybody for watching. Rundown's back tomorrow at HQ. See you there.